starts. Joey Spina takes on 29-year-old David Whittom. There's David Whittom. He's from Quebec City, Quebec, 29 years old, 6'1", 176. He's coming off of a TKO win, 10-5-1 with 6 knockouts. And a big reception for Joey Spina, who's from right here in Rhode Island. Of course, we have seen him many times, most notably his TKO loss to fellow Rhode Islander Peter Manfredo Jr. He's 21-1-1.
Instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean, professional fight. Obey my command. Touch him up, guys. Good luck.
Dick Flaherty, the referee. This is an interesting spot for Joey Spina, Teddy, because obviously going back down to a 6-rounder, which was really a swing bout, it could have been a 4-rounder against a guy like David Whittom. He wants the TV exposure. He wants to get back and just create some positive momentum in his career, I have to assume.
Yeah, of course. He's fighting Whittom, who took the fight only on a couple days' notice. But Whittom did fight only 2 weeks ago. Whittom has lost 4 of his last 7. So my answer to you, Joe, would just off of those records, those stats, yeah, Spina's looking for a spot that he thinks he can win. But early on, Whittom not cooperating.
Not at all.
This is the first fight in the United States for Whittom.
Most of his fights have taken place in Canada, with one exception. He went over to Russia and lost an 8-rounder in 2006.
As you said, Spina, before his last fight, he was off 1 year.
Came in tonight at 177 pounds. When he saw him back in October 2006, he was 168 against Peter Manfredo.
One thing Spina likes to do is go to the body, as Whittom gets a warning for hitting behind the head, or what we call it in the business, rapid punching.
Spina comes charging in with a right lead that misses off the mark.
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a clash of heads here. The way Whittom comes in leaning a little bit, and Spina falls in with his head.
Let him out.
Left hook from Spina, before they wrap up again. Dick Flaherty's going to break him. Remember, we saw Spina back in May 2006 in that come-from-behind win against Jesse Brinkley. That was really the high watermark of the unbeaten phase of his career before he ran into Manfredo.
Joe, there's a lot of wide punches coming from Spina. It looks like Spina because he's got Whittom on the ropes, like he's in charge. But Whittom doing some effective punching in between those wide shots of Spina. A lot of times you have to, there it is, a right hand right in between that wide hook of Spina. A lot of times you got to really find ways, discover ways to create offense. Spina gives them to you by leaving himself open like that.
Just ate a right-left combination. Whittom scored well.
Well, again, every time Spina goes on the offense, that's supposed to be a good thing. It turns out to be a good thing for Whittom, the wrong guy, because he can punch in between those wide shots, those holes.
Punch track numbers have David Whittom landing 61% of his total punches right now.
Guess what? Spina's a little bit worried about throwing right now. That's why he's eating more, because when he throws, he gets counted.
Another combination, including the left hook from David Whittom.
What can
30-year-old Joey Spina, who's a fan favorite here in his hometown of Providence, Rhode Island, just asked his cornerman after that first round. He said, I lost that round, right? Yo, you better believe you lost that round to David Whittom. Hard-charging Quebecois, who scored with ease with his combination punching. Looking for an upset here in Spina's backyard.
Whittom's punches are a little quicker and a little straighter and a lot more accurate.
All right, let him out.
Whittom in the black, Spina in the Italian flag, green, white, and red.
I'm going to tell you a figure, a little stat that might make a difference if this fight goes rounds. Whittom is 15 pounds lighter than he was in his last fight 2 weeks ago. That's a lot of weight to take off in 2 weeks. Either he's in great shape or he took off the weight the wrong way, Joe, too fast, and he's going to fade right in front of our eyes.
He was 191 on March 20th, and he weighed in yesterday at 176. Now he's fought most of his career in that range of the high 170s. 191 his high weight of his career. There's a right hand from Spina as Whittom came forward.
Now that is a flaw that Spina needs to continue to recognize and take advantage of. Whittom, when he comes forward, sometimes he'll get top heavy with that jab. He'll tilt in a little bit, leave himself wide like that, leave himself wide open to counters with the right hand.
Spina held up on that right hand, and then Whittom came with one of his own.
Spina gives you opportunities to catch him, either while he's punching with wide shots or while he's leaning forward, coming in. Either way, if you punch as Spina comes at you, chances are you're going to have luck. You're going to have good fortune.
He has always been a very manageable target every time that we've seen him throughout his career. A little snap jab right there from Whittom.
Just a moment ago, you saw that wide hook from Spina. He didn't pay a price. He throws that wide hook again. He might eat a right hand.
Let him out. Let him out.
Anybody who has a good straight right hand loves to see an opponent throw a wide left hook.
Spina comes in wide again, actually crossed his feet over as he came in that time against Whittom.
Right. Let him out.
Now on the inside, Whittom got the best of it with a right uppercut. Spina tries to hold his ground and gives something back, and Whittom is hurt. Big turnaround for Spina.
Big action in the last round. First it was Whittom catching and hurting Spina right there with the right uppercut, but then he takes a little picture, does Whittom, and he gets caught, and he gets hurt by Spina putting the punches together at the end of that round.
Spina did not look good in the first round. Whittom went out there and scored more. There were moments where he looked like he was yet to wake up in that second round, and then a late rally, and then such a sense of urgency from the corner of Spina before this third round, saying, this is the round. You need to knock him out right now. He's going after him.
Now he's got the upper hand, and he being Spina right now, but don't forget, don't blink. Keep watching this, because as Spina has that upper hand, it can turn around real quick as he's throwing wide shots, and Whittom can do that. Punch right in between them.
Whittom scores well now against Spina. What looked to be on paper a spot for Joey Spina to come back, get some work in front of the hometown crowd against a hand-picked guy who just fought on March 20th and get some TV airtime to reestablish his career, has turned into a war and an uphill battle that he's got to dig deep in here, because Whittom's with him every step of the way.
Whoever decides to do a little more work on the inside is going to have the final say in this fight. And again, you cannot feel safe if you're a backer of Spina, who's only lost one time, and that was by knockout, because even when Spina is doing okay offensively, he gives up defense, just like you saw right there. In other words, Spina pays a price to get to you.
The guy who knocked him out is sitting ringside, Peter Manfredo Jr. Total punches, punch track numbers. Look at the percentage on Whittom. It's been like that from the beginning, landing over half of his total punches. Good work with the double jab. Again from Whittom with the double jab.
You know, both fighters have opportunities in the power alleys on the inside. They've shown that.
Spina comes back with a right hand.
But Whittom looks like he has a little advantage on the outside, a little quicker and surer with that jab when he uses it, which is not enough.
All right.
tried to open up with that left hook again. Back to the jab goes Whittom. Right hand cross comes from Whittom. Spina just trying to work his way in. And then they tie up.
Let him go. Let him go, Joey. Let him
Spina
go.
pressing, but getting caught as he presses quite often.
Halfway through what has been a very, very entertaining 6-round bout between Whittom and Spina, just north of Providence. Joe and Teddy with you for Friday Night Fights. We're hoping we get the same between Lance Whitaker and Providence's Jason Estrada in our heavyweight main event. Estrada has been heavily criticized in his career because of not having that fan-friendly pro style, Teddy.
Well, Estrada, what he is, he's not a big banger as a heavyweight, and that's what people like. They want to see guys with TNT, and those hands being wrapped, they don't have TNT in them, but they have speed, and they have a lot of experience. Try about 300 amateur fights, having fought the best in the world. That's what he brings, and he brings confidence with that experience. With that man, he brings size, 6'8". He brings experience in the pro ranks. He has fought the much better fighters, and he represents a step up for Estrada in the pro ranks. But something interesting, Estrada in the past has been knocked for his work ethic. Well, he's coming in the second best weight of his career. He's in good shape. And Whitaker, he's lost 21 pounds since his last fight. Extraordinary. This is a guy that was fighting at 270, 272. He's coming in at 239 tonight. Will that help him or will that hurt him? We're going to find out.
So answers in our main event still to come your way. Both men coming in at 239 pounds in our main event. Round number 4 in front of you here between David Whittom and Joey Spina. Joey Spina, of course, the knockout victim to Peter Manfredo Jr. back in 2006 when both were claiming that they own this town. Here in Providence, such passionate fans. Manfredo came out on top with a 3rd-round TKO. Spina's career hasn't been the same since. He only fought once in 2007. He fought last month and was looking to build upon that here tonight. Oh, and he sends down Whittom.
Over there. 5, 6, 7, 8.
And now there's a bad cut around the right eye of David Whittom.
The reason Whittom was deposited on the floor is he posed after he threw. And when he posed, Spina came right back and caught him.
Even fight, but Spina's working on a 2-point round here.
Right now, Spina not helping himself.
Over there.
He's got Whittom in front of him, who's just hurt. And a moment ago, he allowed him to get tied up or to tie him up.
And that cut is immediately calling the attention of the ringside physician. We're using the unified rules, so only the referee can stop the fight.
All right, very good. Okay.
You know, this helps Whittom because he was just on the floor, gives him a couple of seconds to recover, get the cobwebs out.
Let him out. Let him out.
He got to Spina in the 2nd round with a right uppercut, and Spina came back and hurt Whittom at the end of that round. And now he's got him hurt here in round number 4.
Now it's all Spina. Looks like a locomotive coming down that track. But don't forget, this locomotive has been knocked off that track. He comes in wide.
And now seeing blood and knowing he has had his man down, he opens up even more, creating opportunities for Whittom. He just placed a right hand there moments ago.
A lot of right hand opportunities for Whittom, especially when Spina leads with that fat left hook. And you can see what Whittom's looking to do. He's looking to catch Spina inside that left hook with his right hand.
15 seconds to survive for Whittom. Get through this 4th round. They're going to need to tend to that cut right away. Can Spina get rid of him here? 2 rounds to go. Above the right eye of David Whittom. It opened up in the 4th round when he hit the deck. Spina's 2-punch combination put him down.
Let's take a look at those punches. Spina on the outside. Left hook was a setup punch. The right hand behind it. Again, the left hook to try to set up the right hand, but turns out it snuck in between that glove, did most of the damage, and the right hand was just a little bit of a going away present by Spina.
In that fourth round, Spina landed 33 of 83 punches thrown. Scheduled for 6.
The man tending to the cut in Whittom's corner, Dominic Colte.
Let's bring in our guest analyst in studio tonight, BJ Flores. BJ, so glad to have you with us.
Thanks, Joe. Good to be here.
I know you are a fighter who watches a lot of Friday night fights, keeps your eyes on the other guys in other divisions, so clearly you've watched the growth and progression of Joey Spina.
All right, guys,
And you know where he was compared to where he is tonight. What do you think of what you're seeing so far?
You know, I think Joey was a little surprised in the first round by Whittom's aggression, and I think he's starting to get the bout back under control now. So he caught him with the big left hook. We all know Joey can punch, and that's what he did last round. So I see him regaining control now, but he had a rough spot earlier, like Teddy said. So we'll see what he does in the next round.
BJ, what do you think about Aaron Williams, the cruiserweight that you saw early on?
I thought he did a fantastic job, Teddy. He looked really sharp. He was relaxed. He was poised. You know, I think he had the perfect guy in front of him, Andre Pillette. Like you say, activity is something very important to a fighter, and Pillette has not been active.
Big right uppercut. Right uppercut from Whittom. Good job tonight, BJ. We'll catch up with you a little later on.
Thank you, Joe. Take care.
Thank you.
Right uppercut moments ago from David Whittom. 10-8 round in the fourth round. Spina scoring the knockdown, but only 38-37 on Teddy's scorecard. And Whittom shows an offensive spurt again here in the midst of round number 5. Spina is in much tougher than he expected.
Well, a moment ago,
chopping right hand.
Neither guy's shown a lot of real science here. Pretty crude, wide open, and now Whittom turns it around himself. But a moment ago, Whittom showed a little bit of technique, a little science, taking a step back and walking Spina into punches.
He was cut, he was knocked down, and he came out in his 5th round, and he's flat out winning it. David Whittom, what a game effort tonight.
Again, even when it's going good for Spina, it's not too good. Because everything he does, a little crude, a little raw, and a lot wide. Always a chance to do something to him in between. And Whittom's doing plenty of it this round.
David Whittom took the fight on short notice, first fight in the U.S., and it's turning into a war. 6th and final round. Joey Spina from right here in Providence, 21-1-1, his only career loss. That much anticipated TKO loss to Peter Manfredo, which got a lot of hype at the time. And against David Whittom, his first fight in the U.S., takes it on short notice, just weighed 191 pounds a couple weeks ago. Now fighting as a light heavyweight, and on Teddy's scorecard, it's an even fight. He's gotten up off the canvas in the 4th round to come back and win the 5th round. Hey, listen, we're in Spina's backyard, but it's pretty obvious what we're seeing here.
Come on, guys.
You know, guest host, who's doing a good job, BJ Flores, the undefeated cruiserweight, in the studio, he must be cringing watching this, even though he's enjoying it, because it's the opposite of what he aspires to. He looks to box, be smart, use the sweet science to the best ability that he can. Both these guys, they just come and run into each other. I mean, the old timers would say, and I've said it many times, they get insulted if you miss them.
That has been the case. Done a good job on that cut above the right eye. That opened up on Whittom in the 4th round. There's a look at it right there. Now it's just starting to stream down, but we're halfway through the final round.
Again, plenty of opportunities for both fighters.
Whittom stepped forward. Spina caught him with a right hand. Now a right uppercut on the inside. He's used that well, has Whittom.
Right guy, let him out.
Well, Whittom's done well. And again, where he's been the only of the two warriors here that have shown a little science. He's taken steps back and led Spina into shots.
Right guy, let him out. Go ahead.
Sweeping right hand from Spina.
Those sweeping right hands, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Sometimes they land, and sometimes they leave an opening where Spina pays a price. "45 seconds or so left in this round. Look for right hands from Whittom as Spina comes in with that wide hook.
One of these guys could win this fight right here in this last 30 seconds.
Right guy, don't wrestle. Don't wrestle.
See what they have left. Spina to the inside. Backing up Whittom.
Right guy, I got it.
I wonder if that 15 pounds that Whittom took off in the last 2 weeks is hurting him right now.
Here comes the clap, and here they go. One final surge. Whittom looking to hold on. Spina seemed more active down the stretch. That was a good, fun, entertaining 6-round fight. We will come back and hear from the judges, and we will recap the all-action between Whittom and Spina. Stay with us. Quebec City's David Whittom traveled south to Rhode Island on short notice to take on the local favorite, Joey Spina, and he gave him everything he could handle, Teddy.
Yes, he did. Early on, they took turns hurting each other. First, it was Whittom, and then it was Spina coming right back and returning the favor. And then as the rounds went on, again, taking turns, and Spina decides to put Whittom on the floor. Then Whittom steps back, creates a little room for his uppercut, and he takes control and comes back and starts banging away at Spina. And then the last round, just maybe Spina did a little bit more. Maybe that right hand right there carried the round, and if it did on my scorecard, would carry the win for Spina.
Leads us to the Just for Men hair color punch track fight recap. 173 for Spina, 164. Spina landing 60% of his body shots. Total punches for Whittom, as you see, 48% landed. Teddy's scorecard, last round goes to Spina, so the fight goes to Spina. Let's see what the Rhode Island-based judges here say about the Rhode Island kid. Here's John Vina.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Twin River Event Center here in Lincoln, Rhode Island, we go to the scorecards after 6 exciting rounds of boxing. Judge Steve Epstein scores the bout 58-56 for Spina. Judge Eddie Scunzio scores the bout 57-56 for Whittom. And Judge Glenn Feldman scores the bout 57-56 for your winner by split decision, the KO Kid, Joey Spina.
Split decision for Spina, but boy, it was a really, really close fight. And give Eddie Scunzio credit. He lives here in Rhode Island, and he gave Whittom a lot of credit in that fight, going 57-56 for Whittom, but it was a close, competitive fight.
Now, that's the way you want to judge. You want to judge looking at it from right or wrong, what he sees in his eyes, not the environment, not the surroundings, not a hometown crowd.
And he's the hometown judge and went against the hometown guy. Well judged, well fought. Whittom versus Spina. Our main event set